Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Planeswalker Coach. Today we are doing an event deck, and this is a deck that I've built in response to one of my coalition friends. His name is Pollard. Pollard said, hey, you know what, can you put together a deck that's going to help put down a ton of supports and help us to do well on the Break the Powerstone event. So anyway, here we are. These are the objectives, the secondary objectives that we wanted to be able to make sure we reached. I'll go over these a little bit more in the video, but what we are trying to do is we're trying to cast 15 or more supports and convert 10 or more of these gems. We can do that and win the game, then that's basically what we're looking for. And we're going to try to build this deck. You'll see the combinations that I use, but we're trying to build a deck here that's going to be able to get these secondary objectives done every single turn without even having to worry. Okay, so I'll show you the deck. Here we are. Okay guys, thank you for joining us here. This is an event deck. The event, as you saw, was the Break the Powerstone at 1, and it's one of the new ones. This deck is different from the championship level decks that I'll put out. The championship level decks are basically built to win basically everything that you will play. And the way we know that it's a championship level deck, of course, is that it does go through the Trial of the Plains 2 full times in a row without losing. And, you know, that will get you all of those great rewards. This is a little different. This deck is not built for that. It's a great deck, but it's built really to get those secondary objectives done. And as you saw on the previous moment there, our objectives we're trying to get are convert the 10 gems and then also be able to cast 15 supports. Now, I've checked some places online. I don't know if this is a new thing, but that number 15 supports is no longer 15. I've seen it some places where it says 5 supports. You got to cast 5 supports. Either way, this is going to get down a ton of supports, right? In the practices, I've gotten 15, 20, 25 supports in a single game. So it will be able to hit the 15. The way it does that is it's going to try to use this solar power move over and over and over again. Every single turn if you can get it. All right, the way we're going to try to get it is we're going to put down this Sinner's Judgment card here. To get Sinner's Judgment, as you know, if you read this card here, the Faithbound Judge, it says that you can, if this card is in your graveyard and you make a white match, that's basically going to be able to trigger the Sinner's Judgment. Sinner's Judgment, it says here, it gives you tons and tons of loyalty, right? It says at the beginning of your turn, increase this card's level by 1, then gain X loyalty. X is 8 times this card's level. So as you can see, you'll get tons and tons of loyalty. All right, we'd like to have all that loyalty because we're going to try to use the power here, the solar power, as many times as humanly possible. And what it does is it will trigger the activate gems that are on the board, 4 of them to be exact. Now we have these here. These are the only activate gems that are in this deck. And it says activate 3, basically pull the next spell out of your library, and that card is going to be free for every single activate gem that you match. If we use the solar power ability, we're going to be able to hit all 3 every single turn, right? So we're going to be able to destroy all 3 of these activate gems every turn. We're going to be able to dig in the deck for a spell that's going to come out free. The only spell we have is this one here, Meeting of the 5. All right, Meeting of the 5, it says fetch the first 3 different cards with exactly 3 colors from your library. Those cards get full mana. Now you take a look, we only have these 3 right here that are going to be pulled. All right, so we're going to have Rocco, we're going to have Tamayo, the Field Researcher, and we're going to have Broker's Ascendancy. Okay, so when you get these 2, they're going to help each other. You'll see exactly how, right? It says here, if this has 7 supports, or this support's got 7 shields on it, it's going to make all cards in your hand free. That's going to help. This does help it to continually gain shields, so you'll be up to that 7 in no time. All right, so let's see some gameplay. I'm really hoping that we're going to be able to get the Pyromancer goggles early. If we can get those goggles early, if we get the Sinner's Judgment early, we'll be able to just load it up. Tons and tons of supports really, really quickly. And I'll show you hopefully that soon. Alright, let's go with Rocco first. Not yet. Now, what you've noticed is there are several different creatures here, and with Rocco, the question is, what creature are you going to pull? And it really depends on where you are in the game and what you need the most, right? For me, it makes a lot of sense that I get this Sinner's Judgment card. Well, it's called the Faithbound Judge, but it's going to help you get Sinner's Judgment. That's good. This one, you can treat it kind of as a convert spell. You can convert those 5 white. And if you need a kill spell, this is your kill spell. It says here, your Brutal Cathar, when this creature enters the battlefield or transforms, exile a opposing creature. So that's going to help you kill creatures. Right now, what I'm going to do is go Knight of the White Orchid. Now, what we're going to try to do, ooh, that's nice. We're going to try to use that to convert as many white gems as possible. Hopefully, it's going to be able to get this Pyromancer Goggle down. All right, let's see. Here we go. There's the convert we were talking about, and there's the Pyromancer Goggles. That's perfect. Okay, now you'll see that the Pyromancer Goggle, when it becomes our turn again, you're going to see those activate gems. That's going to be really good. There we are. We got some. It looks like we're going to be able to hit a few in this turn. What I want to do also is hit this card here. This will help us to continually destroy enemy creatures. You can read the excerpt 6 here. It says destroy. Well, basically your first creature that your opponent controls will be destroyed. That does help. It's going to put out an activate gem there. That's going to be really good for us. Okay, so here we are. Let's go with that. We're able to connect. This is our second support that we got there. Now, what do we want? Let's go with the Faithbound Judge. We need the Faithbound Judge because that's going to help us to get those loyalty points that we need. All right, I'm going to go here. Faithbound Judge. Okay, we're making some plays, guys. We're making some plays. We're moving down some supports. As you see, we're lining up some here that's going to turn into the Pyromancer Goggles. That's going to be good. At this point, we get rid of one of these. That's fine. Convert. We'll move this here. Okay, we don't need the Brutal Cathar yet. And we'll go like that. Alright, so we're making moves. There's the meeting of the 5. What do we replace? Of course, we're going to choose this one here, our big judge, our faith-bound judge. The reason we choose that is because we want him in the graveyard. If we have him in the graveyard, we're going to be able to move some white together. And once we get those white gems touching each other, we're going to be able to put down that Sinner's Judgment that will help us to get tons and tons of loyalty points every single turn. Okay, looks like the opponent is trying to make some moves. Here, we're doing good. If you've been counting at home, you should be on 8 supports. Right there, we match the white. That's important. Okay, we got our 9th support. It's important that we match the white because it gives us that Sinner's Judgment ability, that card. That's going to be an important one because it's going to help us to put down lots and lots of supports. As you'll see, it will help us to get tons of loyalty. That will help us to facilitate that. Alright, opponent's playing some cards. Okay, and this is the combination that I wanted to show you. We hit Solar Power. It's going to destroy 4 of those activated gems. 3 out of the 4 will be for the Pyromancer Goggles here. And you'll see they set up the meeting of the 5. that fourth one has to do with this excerpt one here. That will destroy your opponent's first creature, as you saw that it did. Okay, so here we are. There's another support and another. The Meeting of the Five is being played. There's another support. Meeting of the Five again. Rocco. So what do we want with Rocco? As you can see, we got some cards over here that need to be paid off. Those are kind of in the way. What we're going to do is choose the Knight of the White Orchid. And the reason for that is we're going to try to convert those gems into white, right? Because as I mentioned, treat this as a convert spell. Okay, here we go. Convert into white. Ah, perfect. It filled a gem here. Or fill the card. Alright, Rocco's inbound. Can we get some more of those white gems, please? Some matches if we can. And no match, but that's fine. What you'll see next turn, we have 23 shields on this support. All you need is 7. If you got 7, you're going to have everything in your hand here paid off. Okay, so the opponent's going to have a turn. We're going to get our turn. Everything's going to be paid off, as you can see. And we'll draw a card, so that's great. Okay guys, if you've been counting at home, you'll know that we're done with the amount of supports that we need to put down. I think we're at 16. Alright, so we've converted the gems that we need. You know, we're doing good. This is a nice deck. It's done what we've asked it to do. We're able to complete those secondary objectives. And you can see we're just throwing down some more of those good supports there. There we are, guys. I hope you liked the video. We're going to try to see if we can put some extra work into this and make this actually a championship level deck. If you guys can put some help in the comments, a lot of those are very, very useful. Put down some suggestions of what you guys would use, what you think should be in this deck, and that would be very helpful. Alright guys, you know how it goes, right? Like and subscribe, that helps the channel, and that's all we got. Okay, good gaming.